Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Walker Ford in sunny Clearwater, Florida. And guess what? We have some double trouble with two Mustangs. I have this 2017 Mustang with the V6, and we have a brand new 2020 Mustang EcoBoost with that inline four turbocharged engine. And what I want to do is I want to try to answer a question. Does the EcoBoost really deserve the bad rap that many people give it because of it being just a four-cylinder turbocharged engine? And I think what better way to compare it to the outgoing, the last year was 2017, of that naturally aspirated V6. But let's talk a little bit about Mustang engine history. Guess what? Going all the way back to the beginning, 1964 and a half, the Mustang, not all of them came with V8s. You can get a straight six, a naturally aspirated straight six. Over the years, in the 1980s, especially right around 1985, there was the Mustang SVO that came with an inline four turbocharged engine. So this is not the first go around for a smaller engine in a Mustang other than a V8. And many people who maybe can't afford the V8, maybe for insurance reasons don't want the V8, or maybe they just want something different or better fuel economy. That's where these two come into play. And what I'm gonna do is we're gonna compare not only the aesthetics, but also the performance of, really is the V6 that last year you should be looking for if you're not gonna go the V8 route. So let's go ahead and dive into these two Mustangs. Off the bat with the 2017 in this beautiful lightning blue, you can see the styling. This was the styling that came out for this generation of Mustang with 2015. Went from 2015 to 2017. You can see the older style headlight design. You'll still find that on the Shelby GT350 and the GT500. We toggle down and you have some exterior lighting and then a functional side air curtain. So this is not a fake vent. It's not meant to be a fake vent. It's actually a functional side air curtain to channel the air around and down the side of this Mustang. Now the grille, nice large open grille area, flat black on the design. You have that iconic Mustang badge there, that chrome pony, goes back so many years. And guess what? They didn't call this a Mustang because of the horse. They actually called it because of the P-51 World War II fighter plane known as the Mustang. But I love the flat black, real simple down on the lower portion of the grille. Got a little bit of a lower lip extension, kind of sticks out on the corners, but very, very clean design. When we get up onto the hood, a little bit of a peak right here, goes into the hood, fades away, and then I love the two higher portions that flow all the way back towards the windscreen. Now, as we come to the 2020, here's where we'll see some of the differences. So you can find on the headlight design, things changed a little bit. They reshaped it. They changed the internal structure of what was going on. This piece right here, now that I have a 2017 in front of me, I'm gonna zonk this lower area. All that's gonna do is just catch air. I don't see how that could be aerodynamically efficient, but you still have your tri-bar LED headlight design with your daytime running lamps. You have that lower piece of exterior lighting, and then you do have functional side air curtains. Now what they did was they redesigned this whole corner and the front fascia, believe it or not, to mimic Darth Vader's helmet. That's where they got the design philosophy on what's going on here. Now as we come across the grille, you're still gonna have that basic open space. If you notice that on the grille for the EcoBoost, it's actually blocked up a little bit more. They don't need as much airflow for that inline four turbocharged engine. You still got your chrome pony, flat black, simple flat black design, and that same low lip extension. Now going up onto the hood, things are a little bit different. You'll see the rise here in the center, fades away, but the actual hood design is totally different. This has two heat extractors, just like the Mustang GT. This is gonna help drag hot air out. I love the design and the functionality in that hood. But why don't we go ahead, let's go around the side and the backs of these two Mustangs to see how they're similar and see how they're different. All right guys, we're gonna take a lap of the Mustang, this V6 one first, since it is the 2017. So we're gonna come around the bend, see what we're working with wheel and tire setup. Now, the good news is the two of these are pretty much base examples. This is your standard wheel in 2017, that 5-star design, gloss black with your Mustang pony in the center there. You have a 13-inch rotor, no Brembo calipers or anything like that, just a regular sliding front caliper. Now, tire width up here, you're looking at 235 on the width and a meaty 55 series sidewall. So that's a beefy sidewall on this V6 powered Mustang. As we go down the fender, nice and clean. No, don't need to put a V6 emblem or anything like that. Color matched on the mirror caps. I love the way that flat black lower sill extends out. You have that classic fastback design. And that's the thing is, with these two, pretty much the only main difference is going to be the front and the back of the exterior, and the wheels, of course, because that is what was done part of the refresh in 2018. As we work our way back, you can see that nice flared out fender look. And then when we get to the back of the V6 Mustang, here's where we're going to have a little bit of a difference. So you have that trunk kind of kicks up at the back, no trunk lid spoiler, nice large chrome pony in the back, the gloss black surrounding it. You have your tri-bar taillights, and then as we work our way down, you have your dual exhaust on each side and a color matched rear diffuser area. Clean is the 2020 though, a little bit better on the rear. Let's go ahead and check out that EcoBoost Mustang. Right, guys, time to take a trip around the 2020 Mustang EcoBoost. Like I said, this whole front fascia is totally redesigned from the 2017. We come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So instead of your standard 5-spoke wheel, you have a 5-spoke, but they're split. I like the split design, the machined aluminum gloss black. Overall, if you're wondering what's the size of this tire, you're looking at 235 on the width, 50 series sidewall. This is an 18-inch wheel. So 18-inch wheel, 235, 50 series on the sidewall. Much cleaner look than on the 2017. You could even see it has a larger caliper. Now, is that a Brembo 6-piston? No, but it is a larger caliper, and the rotors are a few tenths of an inch larger than what's on the 2017. Give you a little bit better braking capability. Now, as we go down the side, same wonderful fender, super clean, no emblems or anything. The lower sill extends nicely, flat black, that beautiful fastback roof design. I love the corner window here, that rear corner window going into the quarter panel here, just absolutely beautiful. And then as we kind of squeeze play in between this Mustang corral that we're in, we're gonna wrap it out back. And this is where I think the 2020 Mustang looks a lot cleaner than the 2017. You have a color match trunk lid spoiler. I love the little design that they put into the gloss black, that nice large chrome pony. You still got your tri-bar taillights, and then you're gonna have two oval /cut exhausts. And the rear diffuser, I'm so glad that they changed it up. The flat black looks super clean, helps separate it from the rest of the rear bumper area, but still has that classic Mustang look. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hoods and see the two power plants in this comparison. All right, guys, we got the hoods popped on these two ponies. They both have prop rods, so I am gonna zonk that. But underneath the hood, let's start with the 2017. Everybody's saying, I'd rather have the V6, I'd rather have the V6. Well, there's your V6. That's a 3.7 liter naturally aspirated V6. You're looking at 300 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque. You could have it mated to a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60, 5.5 seconds, quarter mile in 14.1 at 102 miles an hour. And this one is governed top speed at 124 miles an hour. The car weighs 3,588 pounds. And it has a 315 gear set up out back. That's a limited slip rear differential. MPGs, 18 in the city, 27 on the highway. You can see all the extra room that you have underneath the hood. And what I do like is there's really no plastic. There's no plastic cover or anything like that. Now, as we work our way over to the EcoBoost, of course you have even more room. Tasteful engine cover still on the smaller side. What are we looking at horsepower-wise? Well, guess what? If you thought the V6 had more horsepower, you're wrong. This 2.3 liter EcoBoost engine, which means it's a turbocharged inline-4, has 310 horsepower, 350 pound-feet of torque. Let me stress that. This has 350 pound-feet of torque. That's 70 pound-feet of torque more than the 2017 V6. It's mated to that slick shifting 10-speed automatic, or you could still have a 6-speed manual. 0 to 60 in 5 seconds flat. That's 0.5 of a second faster than the V6. Quarter mile in 13.7, which is faster than the V6. Top speed is still regulated, but they regulate it to 126 miles an hour. And this one has the same exact gear ratio, the 315 gearing out back. Weight, 3,556 pounds. MPGs comes back a winner as well. 21 in the city, 32 on the highway. Now you might be wondering, well, Joe, if the 4-cylinder engine is so much smaller than the V6, why isn't this one even lighter? The reason why is, remember, from 2017 to 2020, that's 3 years of additional tech, safety equipment, and everything else. And that's why you're not seeing as big of an offset between the V6 and the 4-banger, but you're definitely seeing the difference in the performance. 0 to 60, quarter mile, and top speed. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, and put some gravy on top because you're getting better MPGs. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up these two smaller displacement Mustangs and hear what they sound like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2017 Mustang with the V6. I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, even though the 4-cylinder is faster, I still rather have naturally aspirated power, no turbocharger. How much is this V6 Mustang? Well, back in 2017, this particular one had an MSRP right at $27,000. Walker Ford has it marked a tick under $20,000. It's $19,995, and it has 28,000 miles on it. Let's see what the 2017 V6 is like. To the door panels, soft material at the top. I'm zonking the cloth in the center. Don't like the cloth, but the good news is they put a leatherette material on the armrest with the white contrast stitching. Classy door handle there, and then you have a smaller pocket for a Whopper Jr., maybe a few Kit Kats, and a bottle of milk. Now, when you come to the dash, you have that dual cowl setup. You can see the badging that was put on the 2017 since 1964. This faux carbon fiber just doesn't look right, so I'm zonking it in here. They should have just left this flat black, to be honest with you. Here's the biggest zonk on the smallest thing on this car. So 4.2-inch screen. You're gonna need your Mustang magnifying glasses to be able to look at this. I'll put it in reverse. There's your backup camera, no trajectory. Well, you do have trajectory, excuse me, but it's just small. And you could hit this. I don't know what that does. Doesn't do anything. So that's as zoomed in as it gets. Put it back in the park. You got your radio controls, standard AC, blower fan switch, and your temperature switch. No toggle switches. Just a button for your traction control, button to adjust the steering, weight of the steering, USB, little tiny cubby. This is going to control that 6-speed automatic transmission. 2 cup holders with some chrome trim, and then here is your 2017 key fob. I'm really showing it to you because guess what? The new Mustang has a different key fob on it, so I actually like this one better. Soft material, same storage. You can basically put 6 Twinkies a piece in these Mustangs. Here are your cloth seats for 2017. Nice durable material, and you can see it's the wear on it's been really, really low, even with 30,000 miles almost, but they're super comfortable, lots of headroom. We're actually just gonna keep it at the passenger side on this review so that we're not taking up too much of the driving time, but over here you get same exact steering wheel, same exact gauges on either one. But why don't we go over to the 2020 EcoBoost Mustang and see what the interior is all about on that pony. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020 Mustang EcoBoost. I know you're saying, well, Joe, I love the color on this one. I don't really care about having a naturally aspirated engine. I just want something that's quicker. How much is this one? MSRP is right at $31,000 on this particular Mustang. Let's see what you get for the money. Now, to the door panels, exactly identical. Soft touch material, the same cloth I'm zonking. I'm glad they went with a leatherette style material on the armrest. And then you have the space for the Kit Kats, the Whopper Jr., can of soda, or a bottle of milk. Now here's the big change. You get to the dash portion, still have the dual cowls, but you got a different badge, 55 years of the Mustang, because it's 2020. I love this finish a lot more than that carbon fiber. It's much classier, really brings up the level. And then guess what? You get to the center here, you have now an 8-inch infotainment system instead of that little tiny 4.2-inch screen. You got your climate controls in here. Real easy to go through, simple, love the size. I'll throw it in reverse. Of course, you're gonna get better backup camera, and you're getting also the backup sensing technology so that you don't run over anybody, which is really nice at your local car shows. Put it back in the park. You got your climate controls, nicely set up. It's dual climate. You got toggle switches, just like in that P-51 fighter plane. You got your toggle switches for different modes, steering feel, traction control, your hazards, and then I love the way they went with an aluminum start-stop button over the 2017. Same USB, same cubby, same shifter, only difference is what it's connected to. 10-speed automatic transmission. Instead of going shiny chrome, they went with like a brushed aluminum. Actually looks better, and this has a little bit better feel to it. Here's your key fob for 2020. Like I said, I like the other key fob better. This one's actually a little larger, but you got remote start and all that, which is a nice touch. Good old-fashioned e-brake, same armrest, and then the seat material, they went different. It's cloth, but I like the way they put the Mustang logo in there, these racing stripes. Still manual for both the passenger and the driver, just like that 2017, but I do like the design a little bit more in the 2020. And of course, everything else is gonna be identical. Steering wheel, gauges, even the trunk space is the same. But why don't we go ahead, let's stop talking about these two Mustangs sitting here. If you're ready, I'm definitely ready. Let's take these two for a spin. All right, guys, we left Walker Ford. We're comparing the V6 Mustang to the new Mustang EcoBoost. We're gonna start off in the V6 on throttle. Nice linear power delivery, 6-speed, automatic, shifting down, smooth shifts, very smooth shifts. No creaks, no rattles out of this 2017. Quite impressed. Love looking out over the hood, and I think that's I actually like the way the hood looks on the 2017 compared to the 2020, but I do like the heat extractors on the 2020. Let's see how this 2017 V6 handles on the brakes. Good pedal feedback, nice turn in, all the way around, track it out a little bit. I'm gonna get back on throttle, apex right there, we're gonna go. Get back on the highway. So you'll see when we get into the EcoBoost, it may seem on camera that it's a little slower, but the numbers don't lie. 0 to 60 in this car around 5.5 seconds. When we get to the EcoBoost, you're shaving 0.5 of a second. That may not sound like a big deal, but I promise you, when you're at a light, the light turns green, and that EcoBoost starts to pull on you and pull on you and pull on you, that's where you're gonna notice the difference. But if you are just so anti, you're like, no Ford banger for me in a Mustang, this is your other option if you don't want to go V8. All right, guys, one thing you'll notice in this 2017 Mustang is that the 6-speed is actually quite proficient in its job. There's not as many gears to search through, and I really like the way that it shifts as it goes through the gears. Obviously with the 10-speed, you have more ratios, which is gonna help with acceleration and fuel economy and all that, but still quite impressive for this particular vehicle. Well, why don't we go ahead, let's get back on throttle, see how she handles here. Nice weight to the steering, and overall, you know, the way she carries her weight, she does it very well in this Mustang, and it's surprising with a 55 series sidewall. That's like a beefy sidewall. I'm getting a little bit of flex, but nothing too crazy, which is nice. On the highway, give you an idea, I'm doing right now 60, and I'm about 1,700 RPM. So it'll be interesting to see when we're in the Mustang EcoBoost, what kind of RPM are you spinning when you're going down the highway? Because obviously that could be something that annoys the hell out of you, just like maybe sound or whatnot. But the good news is, whether you go EcoBoost or you go this 2017 Mustang with the V6, interior is laid out very well, lots of space, not as much space as a Challenger, but definitely more space than a Camaro, if you're also looking at those other types of cars that are in this same class. But really smooth driving down the highway, seats are great, and I think many people will like the little bit deeper sound from the V6, and also the linear power delivery, a little bit more linear because you're not waiting for any kind of boost or anything like that. But we're gonna go ahead, get back to Walker Ford, swap seats, and get into that Mustang EcoBoost. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, we're leaving Walker Ford. We swapped seats. We're in the 2020 Mustang EcoBoost on throttle, drops down, and you're off and running. In the car, you definitely can feel a little bit harder acceleration than the V6. I know that sounds crazy, but it's because you're waiting a little bit for that boost to kick in, and then once it hits, you're off and running, and she does give you a little bit more kick to her. I do like the silver trim in here though, rather than that faux carbon fiber. Really kind of elevates just the interior. And obviously if you go higher trim, even on the Mustang EcoBoost, you can make it even nicer in here. Visibility is still the same exact visibility, still great. Hood's a little bit less exciting because it's a little bit more flat from this perspective, but you do have those functional heat extractors that are nice. 8-inch infotainment system screen makes life so much better, especially when you're trying to back up into a spot or back out of a spot. And then the gauges, I know everybody just raves, and I've raved about it as well, the 12-inch LED display. I still like the analog gauges, just a nice classic laid out look. All right guys, pulling away from the light. Still good throttle response. Obviously power delivery is not as linear, but still the 10-speed, when you want to go on throttle, drops down and she's off and running. And I'm telling you right now, you could feel the quicker acceleration between the two. It may not really portray itself really well on camera, but definitely behind the wheel, you do feel the quicker acceleration. And we have the same exact gearing. We were lucky enough to have the same exact gearing between the two, because remember, gearing could really change the whole story. So just something to take into consideration. It's not just the size of your engine or how much horsepower you have that equates to acceleration. There's a lot of variables there. But pulling away from the light, you do have simulated sound pumped into the cabin. Where you didn't have that with the V6, you're definitely getting a simulated sound in the cabin of this inline 4 turbocharged Mustang, which, I don't know, you know, it is synthetic. It's not terrible sound, so I guess that's one half of the puzzle, or the pie. But let's see, as we get on the highway here, on throttle, see what kind of passing capability we have in this EcoBoost. So, the shifts in this 10-speed, I have to say, they almost feel like they're not even happening, to be honest with you. If it wasn't the changing of the RPM, very, very seamless. And I know that some people have had, you know, their issues with where that transmission, that 10-speed drops down when they do get on throttle. In this 2020 that I'm driving here, really shifting very, very nice. Now going down the highway, I am doing about 65 miles an hour, and we're right about, surprisingly, the same RPM, actually a little bit less. And guess why that is like that? I know you're asking me. It's because of the 10-speed. More ratios allows us to bring that RPM down. So that's the wonderful news. I thought for sure we'd at least be over 2,000, 2,500 cruising down the highway, but you're not because of the 10-speed. I do really like that. Same great feel. Let's see how the brakes work into this left-hand bend on throttle, on the brakes. Feel nice, shed the speed, super smooth all the way around. Back on throttle. There we go. So you can see that you're not gonna have, if you're expecting V8 power out of either of these cars, you're gonna be disappointed. But if there's a certain particular reason why you don't want to go the Mustang route, the GT route with the V8, it's nice to have options, right? And I know everybody's been squawking V6. There's no way I would go EcoBoost. I'm telling you, from a performance standpoint, you're wrong. On the brakes feel good. Turn in, nice, light, crisp. Here we go, back on throttle, all the way out. Effortless. And both of these as a daily driver make perfect sense. Of course, you're gonna get better MPGs. Let's go over the facts one more time. EcoBoost wins 0 to 60, wins quarter mile, wins top speed, wins MPGs. So they did make an improvement by going 2 less cylinders and adding a turbocharger. And that's not the first time that Ford has ever done that. I'm gonna say it again, Google it, research it, get your Encyclopedia Britannica out. You can see that they made, in the mid-80s, the SVO Mustang, the Mustang SVO inline 4 turbocharged engine. All right, guys, let's check out the on throttle again. So once again, drops down. So the good news is, merging onto traffic, you're gonna have no problem in this vehicle, even with a 2.3 liter inline 4 turbocharged engine. And driving down the highway, very quiet in here, super smooth, very comfortable, and a good MPG return. But hopefully this gives you a nice taste of these two ponies. We're gonna wrap it up and get back to Walker Ford, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another wonderful day here at Walker Ford with 2 Mustangs. Definitely got to thank Frank Walker, Weston Walker, Tracy, Benji, Mark, Austin, Jason, Greg, the whole crew. So accommodating, so awesome to get us these 2 ponies. What can I say? If you want naturally aspirated and you don't want a V8, then go with the 2017. You'll have your naturally aspirated V6 power. Is it a straight 6 like the original? No, but hey, a 6-cylinder has been in a Mustang before. Or if you want something that's a little bit more performance oriented, that's gonna surprise some people when you get on the throttle, you can go with the EcoBoost and you still have that connection to the 1980s with that 4-cylinder turbo Mustang SVO. No matter which way you go, you're still driving an American icon and a legend, and you can enjoy them every single day. But if it's cars like these that you like to see on Ready's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ready's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Ready's Rides merch. Got to get it out to Victor. Working that camera like a champ, getting 2 Mustangs corralled. These are 2 wild Stangs, and Victor was able to tame them with ease. So thank you, Victor, for all your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.